Hey guys, Anthony, 4x4 Diesel. Just going to do a video. We're going to call this one 101 Uses of Molykote 111. Actually, we're going to call it that, but it's certainly not going to be 101 uses because we're nowhere near finding out those 111. We're going to call it it's 111 because maybe there's 111 uses, but I don't know. Look, we're just going to run through the uses, the things you use it for, because a lot of people are probably thinking, oh yes, so what do we need that for? Of course, it's covered in our injector replacement installation videos in the VIP group, but not all of you are in there, so I suppose I'm going to give you a little bit of the information part of what's in there. I recently did a video saying we're going to test out this rocol gear, and we may change from the Molykote product to the rocol, so if it changes in the injector kit, that's what's going on there. So for the sake of the video, I've mentioned that. We'll get that out of the picture. What are the main uses we use Molykote for? Okay, so it's handy on just about every job when you work on your motor vehicle, we have found. On the injector job, I suppose the first main reason we were using it, the workshop manual says to replace, lubricate this injector O-ring with engine oil. Look, in my experience, engine oils is what makes seals and O-rings go hard. So in my opinion, it's not ideal. But that being said, this is an oil gallery, so oil is going to be right up against it anyway. So you may get away with using engine oil if you like. It's a bit like the old school way of rebuilding brake components, master cylinders and brake calipers. We just use brake fluid. You know, that's what they say. That's not what we do. You can just use brake fluid, but there's a type of rubber grease called rubber grease, PBR rubber grease that is. That's what we use. So it's a bit like that. You know, you've just got to be careful what you use. We're going a bit off topic already, so let's just stop it. All right, okay, I'm going to stop that now. So Molykote on this O-ring so that when it slips in, we've seen a number of vehicles, if you've been watching our videos, where when people install the O-rings, even possibly from factory, where this one's a little bit harder, but normally they're quite soft. I'm trying to pull it up, but it's not working, but it can get caught up at one side if you just sort of push the injector in, where perhaps machines do that. That's why you get the old one from factory where that can happen. And the O-ring's actually up here, but we've had them and they're sort of shaped, curved up like that, but it actually hasn't even leaked because it actually makes a tighter fit there. It's still sealed, even though it come out of the joint. It actually works really well, funnily enough. But ideally you want to lubricate that. You want to gently lower the injector in and give it a gentle twist and let it lower in gently. Now every port on every engine's slightly different, so sometimes they're tighter, sometimes they're looser. So that's number one use. Now I'm going to lose count here so you can count. Number two, something else on the injector job that's really important. Before you refit the valve cover, we like to lubricate this top seal. So this is one of the seals that go in the inside the top of the valve cover, right? So they go, so when your injectors are fitted, okay, let's say that's your injector, this is the seal that goes over the top. So see how it's a bit, look, it's a bit tight and it's all sort of pressing on that, you know, it's pressing on that. This is obviously a really dirty old injector, don't worry about that. And what you see there, it makes you feel sick, but anyway, you know, see the deal here, see how it's, you know, it's just not ideal. And look, I'll just get that off again and see you got sharp corners on the solenoids here, right? So the usual butchers, what do? They just slap the cover on, damage the seal. It's really important, as I said in other videos, that this is really clean and free of any debris, or even the smallest speck of sand can hold those seals open and create a bit of a sweat. So it's got to be really clean, but it's also got to be lubricated. So a small amount of Molykote on this tapered surface here, and also just on the inside of that, right? So you get your finger, obviously, and just make sure that all four of those are nicely lubricated. They're your most important items you're going to use the Molykote for on the injector job. There's a few other uses. Let's have a look at those. Doesn't really matter if you're working on a Toyota Camry, right? It's got a Airbox, an air filter, and a MAF sensor. These days, just about every vehicle, I'll say just about to cover myself, has a MAF sensor, mass airflow, right, that needs to be cleaned when you replace the air filter or when it's operated in dusty conditions. So it doesn't matter if it's the Camry or the Prado, when you remove this MAF sensor, and we've got other videos on that, and if you can't find them, we'll do it again, but we're not going to do it in this video. This is the uses. It's carefully unplugged. Do not pull those wires. Don't yank on the wires and pull those sealing grommets out of the back. Gently press the tab, gently wiggle the plug back. There's a couple of screws This is not about how to remove it or clean the MAF sensor. This is lubricate. It's not the O-ring that we're going to lubricate because it's going to get messy in around the MAF sensor. Take it out, clean it all up, and put a little bit of lubrication. Use the Molykote on the whole of the plastic in the airbox here, right? On this side. And that way the O-ring will slip in nice and carefully. Gently, nicely, squarely, beautifully. The other thing is when you replace your fuel filter, there's a couple of O-rings to lubricate. Let's have a look at those. Okay, so back over here, fuel filter. Okay, as you can see, we'll just get it out of the bag, it'll be easier. Any new fuel filter should come with 2 new O-rings. One of them is this one here you're going to lubricate. You can use, of course you can use diesel, but it just gets a bit messy. It's easy if you've got a nice little tube of Molykote, bada bing, and on this one too, bada boom, lube that one up, and that's going to go on the bottom, obviously on the plastic sensor when you fit that. What else? Okay, seals. Seals. Some seals come lubricated. You can see these ones the way they came. Already lubricated. You can see it's a similar sort of product. You probably can't see that, but I can tell you. Some don't come lubricated, so we would put a nice thin smear of lubrication on any seal, you know, whether it's a seal in the diff or an axle seal. We've got those. We've got a whole heap of seals here. I can show you all seals and, you know, the O-rings or whatever you like. Any sort of seal and O-ring is gonna want a little bit of lubrication, right? What else? What else? What else? What else? They ask. Okay. You want sometimes a nice thick, kind of a little bit sticky substance. And what you do is, you know, when you're refitting a nut or a bolt and you don't want to drop that nut, I'll give you an example. If you happen to take, say on a 1KD, you took your EGR cooler off, or those nuts at the front end, you know, where a lot of people fit that plate, when you're putting the nuts back, they might be hard to handle with your finger, but you might use like a little quarter drive 10mm socket with an extension like... I should have got that ready, but if I'm going to grab not the right one, I'll just make you wait another minute. Where'd that socket go? Oh yeah, there it is. I'm going to grab the actual one that I use when I refit those bolts, right? And you might want to just have that nut that's going to fall out. It's a little bit of Molykote, just small amount. It's always a very small amount, right? Around there like that. And then your nut sticks in and away you go because it ain't going to fall out. So I'll keep finding more uses of Molykote. Alright, another purpose is quite often where you want to use something to create a bit of a seal, but sometimes you can use grease, but grease can get a bit messy because one component of grease is, you know, like it's an oil-based product where this isn't oil. So oil gets messy, it sweats, right? So that's what grease does. It sort of can have a bit of a sweat and it spreads, it can get untidy. So for example, when we replace the timing belt, okay, I will run a bead of that Molykote, not grease, along the seal, because I don't know if you notice when you take your timing cover off, you notice there's usually quite a bit of dust in there, right? So anything we can do to reduce the amount of dust in there, I think is helpful. So I run a bead of Molykote along the rubber seal in the timing cover to help increase that seal a little bit, both sealing it a little bit better from water and dust. Sorry, I haven't got a demonstration piece here in front of me. What else? Anytime you're doing a job like or similar to, say you're fitting extended diff breathers, right? Now I'm not saying you need diff breathers. My position on that will be in another video. I've already said it, you just need to do your research. I'm not saying you need diff breathers. I don't run extended diff breathers, okay? What do I run? In another video. But if you're finding yourself installing diff breathers and you've got joiners and different size hoses and it's really tight and hard to push on, you really just, you know, really giving it some curry and get something to get sore fingers, you know, you can heat things up, that's one thing, or you can lubricate things. So this is pretty well safe to use on most things, and I'm not promoting the product, you know, for the brand itself. As I said, we may even change to something else, but these sorts of, you know, products, handy to lubricate before sliding. You know, you might even use it on a bit of fuel hose trying to get it onto your brass fitting on your extra fuel filter. Not saying you need that either, but I hope you get the picture. Lubrication to help slide things on. You may even use it when you've removed or refitted, for example, your intercooler. You know, your intake hoses, they're quite a bit larger. They're not really hard to line up, but of course you're going to clean them up, wipe them clean. You may just want to put a really thin smear. It's just going to help it slip on and off easier and keep it happy. I like to just give you a precaution with using this on things like hoses. Do not use this or anything that's a lubricant or grease of any type on things like radiator hoses. It's a high pressure situation, and once you lubricate it, it may not stay there. It may make it slippery enough that even with a clamp, under pressure, under the highest pressure, it could slip off. So do not use it to lubricate things like radiator hoses. If you use it to lubricate some sort of breather hose, make sure you use, it's only a minimal amount. We're not talking lumps of the stuff and throwing it down the hole so that it ends up, this probably isn't going to hurt anything, but you just need to use it sparingly for a number of reasons, because it's expensive and because you just want a tiny little bit, just enough to cover the surface. Look, so I think we're just about done. I can't really think of anything else. I always find it handy, even when I'm doing things around the house. Example, okay, you're changing a tap washer, okay? I don't know if you become a plumber every now and then, like I do, but I find the spindles sometimes are quite dry and they need lubrication. So I'll totally remove the spindle, clean that up, and mate, you know how nice the taps work once you've got some Molykote on there? Instead of, should I say, the cleaners, I can't name anyone, but the cleaners cleaning products down the spindle don't help, and the kids' toothpaste and soap down the spindles don't help either. So here's a little bit of plumbing advice. You might want to make sure you get a fair bit of water going over those taps as well as all the soap and toothpaste and cleaning products, because it washes the products down into the spindle, which dry up and it all becomes really dry, almost like fine sand and terrible stuff. So you pull them out, you clean them up. They generally clean up pretty easy with water and stuff. But this stuff is awesome on the threads, and of course you can use it on any O-rings and surfaces like that. It'll just, once you start using the gear, you think I had shares in Molykote, wouldn't you? I don't. I'm telling you, I told you at the start of the video, we're going to probably change to another product. So I do like the stuff, and I'm going to have to be impressed with a rocol to change, even though it is cheaper. Anyway, guys, I think that's about it. It does come in handy. I'll be doing jobs around the house. Like, oh, I need a bit of Molykote. You know what I mean? So I might even take a tube up and keep one up there, because I've got to keep doing a trip to the workshop to get the Molykote when I need it. Anyway, I can't think of anything else. You could probably use it on door seals and that. I'd probably suggest against it. It just gets messy. Traditionally, when doors used to squeak, we used to use spray, silicone spray, carefully spray it on, wipe off the excess. But these days, in Toyotas, quality cars and seals, you don't really need it. So the general purposes are, if you think it through, it's pretty much any O-ring and any rubber seal, right? O-rings and rubber seals is the general information. All right, guys. Hopefully you got something out of that and you can see how useful the stuff is. If you did, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, we've got better information than that coming your way. Check our other videos. Thanks for watching, guys. See ya.